I hope you all remember me from the previous video of mine, the introductory video, whereas I've told you all about some SAT and IBT techniques that I'm using for teaching these two, for getting you all prepared for these two tests for your future education and everything. And I would like to tell you one thing before going any further. You know, there's one thing that gives me a competitive advantage over the other teachers in the market of teaching, let's say. Yeah, I'm talking about rivals, competitive advantage, and everything like that. It may seem, these are all business terms. Since I've graduated business administration, that's where SAT is going to get you, and therefore I know all those words. And that's actually what makes us closer together. I've been in your shoes, I've taken the SAT test, and I've also gotten into the CEU, Central European University, which was the top one in Europe, with almost full 90% of scholarship, which was said to be like the first time in their history. And that was all thanks to the SAT score that I've got. And I will teach you exact ways that helped me to get that score. So, and regarding Toefl, and in Toefl I've got 111 points out of 120 total. And my best student score was 108. And now that person is like the world famous fashion blogger. She's all over the world. I mean, at least before this pandemic, she was everywhere in the world. Now I don't know where she is, but it doesn't matter anyways. The thing that matters is just that I'm gonna help you reach your goals and dreams. So let's take a look at some exemplary lessons of both of the tests now. Let's go upstairs. So now we're in the classroom and let's continue our talk on the SAT. So as you can remember, just a little reminder to you all that I've got 90% off scholarship by the CEU as an exclusive scholarship. And just have in mind that I've just developed my own strategy before going to the test for myself, first of all. And then I've been teaching all the other students of mine who wanted to go abroad. And thank God, I mean, there's never been a score less than 1,350. So they were all more than 1,350, and since 1,250 is just like the score wanted by like most of the universities, they're all in their dream university studying right now. So, and regarding the strategy, so we will have with you here the strategy, but the strategy is not going to be like a template for everyone. I'm just going to consider all your weaknesses and strengths, and I'm just going to tailor the program according to your needs, according to your weaknesses and your strengths, so that everybody can get the highest possible result they are able to, they're capable of getting, let's put it this way. So I would like to start with a pro tip on SAT. So when you know, have you ever watched Magicians Do Tricks? Like when you know what is behind the trick, you're less likely to be bamboozled. All right, this is our first hot word for SAT, bamboozled. And you could get it from the context. You're less likely to be bamboozled because you know how he does it. So, and when you're going to take the SAT, you're also going to be less likely to be bamboozled because you're going to know the exact ways of doing all those problems. All right, so we're off to a great start now. We already got the first hot word. And now it's also very important to know the tactics and special strategies to take the exam. You all know that. And now let's talk about the parts of the SAT. There are 4 sections in there. There's 65 minutes of reading, and plus the language and writing test. That's the verbal part of it. So that's going to give you the total score for evidence-based reading and writing on language section. Also, there are 2 kinds of math, with the calculator and without the calculator. I don't think our students are going to have problems with the non-calculator section because, you know, at school they never let us use calculators at school. I mean, at least it was like that when I was studying. I've never used a calculator during school time. So it's not going to be a big problem for you because, I mean, our guys know all the multiplication by heart, so there's not going to be big of a problem for you. It's just the way our grandfathers used to calculate stuff. So it's in our genes already. All right, so we're already off to a great start because we got already to know our first hot word for the SAT, bamboozled. And other than the hot words for the SAT, which we are going to help you to do the verbal part of it, I'm going to teach you the exact techniques and strategies how to solve any kind of a problem. I mean, whether be it math or the verbal part, they all have their own strategies. And other than the strategies, the main thing there is timing, because you have like particular amount of time to solve each kind of question. And if you fall behind time or run ahead of time, I mean, running ahead, there's no problem with running ahead of time, but if you fall behind time, that's going to punish you the most. Because in SAT, you have to answer all the questions in there. And there's also the essay part. The essay part, I mean, it's up to you to take it or not. So, and it all depends on the universities that you're going to go to. Some universities like require it, but some don't care about it. So you might leave without the essay part. So as I was talking about timing, the reading part is 65 minutes, and then there's writing and listening, that's 25 minutes. And they both comprise this, the part of evidence-based reading and writing section. And then comes the calculator, math with a non-calculator, which is 25 minutes. And then comes the math with the calculator, which is 55 minutes. And at the end comes the essay. As again, I've told you, I'm telling you again, it's just an optional thing. You can choose to take it or not. It all depends on whether the university that you're going to apply for wants it or not. So, as you know all the parts of the SAT now, let's talk about the scoring system. So, talking about scoring, the 200 is the lowest point for any of the parts. So, you can get from 200 up to 800. And 200 you can get right now. You can just go there, just write your name right, and for that you're going to get 200 anyways. But our goal, of course, is not going to get 200. Our goal is to get much higher than 200. And I'm going to try my best to help you all to reach that goal. And you also have to know that you're not sitting like in front of the test for the whole, let me remember, 65 plus 25 plus 25 plus 55 and plus 50 minutes for the essay. I mean, you're not going to sit in front of the computer the whole time. There are several breaks available. And during those breaks, you can just drink a cup of water or something, you know, just refresh yourself. So don't be afraid about anything like that. I'm going to teach you the exact timing strategy, how to behave in that test, how to just, so you're going to just feel like home. Everything is going to be all right. So, you know, I've told you about math calculator, non-calculator parts. And so, since that's like not the way, we don't have to solve all these questions, math questions, the way we solved it during school time, because our ways are too long. First step, second step, third step, get this out of that, put this into that and stuff like that. I mean, it's too long. Here are very short ways of solving problems, and now I'm going to show you one, which is about combinations and permutations. All right, that's too much for you. Just let's watch this video. I mean, the problem that I'm going to show you, and you're going to understand everything. So, all right, everyone, let's get back to business. Now, here's the real SAT question. As you can see, there are 5 different cards. One with a dot, the X, totally, fully colored, star, and a 0. So, the question asks you, if the 5 cards shown above, those are placed in a row so that the fully colored one would be at neither end of the row, how many arrangements, different arrangements, are possible? So you might know this from theory of probability, which is permutations and combinations. So, and you have to know that the difference between combinations and permutations, in one of them we don't care about the order, while in the other, the order does matter. So, permutations and combinations, back at this again. So, it all depends on whether we care about the order or not. So, with combinations, we care about the order, because imagine your locker. It has some kind of combination of numbers. It will only open it if you put it in that order. But with permutations, we don't care about the order. So, let's look at this. 5 cards. I'm going to draw all the possible variants. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it can be either at this one, this side. So there are a total of 5 numbers. We're just going to put here 4. Here there's 3 left. After we put this, there's only 4 left in here. So this is 5. 4 in here, 3 in here, and after we put that, we only have 2 and 1. And also, we have this one, 4, 3, this one, 2, 1, and also this variant we have 4, 3, 2, this, and 1. So what's the total here? It's 24. Here's 24, and here is 24. What's the total of all the possible variants? 72. So 72 is going to be your answer. So as you can see, we've drawn the right things for us, to be closer to the problem, to understand it from its root. And this is just one of the special ways we're going to solve our problems in our tests. Okay, so getting back at permutations and combinations. When the order doesn't matter, it's a permutation. When it does matter, it's a combination. So here, we just got to plus everything to get 72, which is just the thing where the order does matter. But if it didn't matter, we would just multiply everything and get even a bigger than 72 answer. But here we need this because our order does matter. That's why we're going to get 72. So if you want to get to know more about it, just come and join us and help us help you reach your dream. So 30 minutes are over and you got to have all the answers ready. Yeah. Have you been able to do it? Yeah. All right. And my first question would be, did you read the whole text when you started?
Yeah, exactly. First of all, I read all text to understand and have some meaning about these questions and text.
So you first read the whole text and then started doing the questions. Yeah. Okay, and have you done the questions in the order given?
Yeah, it's because it's very easily than others types.
Okay, but have you recognized that there are some questions which you could do by just reading 2-3 sentences, but some questions would require you to know the whole text?
And for me, it's more very easily to understand all text than 2 or 3 sentences.
Wouldn't it be so? So wouldn't it be much easier to first do the questions that require you to read just 2-3 sentences, and then build up, like it's the foundation, and then build up to the, and then go to the questions that require you to know the whole text. So for example, first you do the question types that require you to read 1-2 sentence, then 3-4 sentence, then the whole paragraph, and then at the end you do the question that require you to know the whole text. Whole text. So can you tell me that sentences that require you to do just to read just 1-2 sentences?
On this text?
Yeah, of course, from that text. Like question number.
Which of the following is not defined?
No, that you would need to know the whole paragraph. Which of the following is not defined? Like you have to read the whole paragraph to see what is defined and what is not defined. But I think it was question 3. Look at question 3.
It's question 1.
No, question 3. What does question 3 say?
The word intentional.
Yeah, the word intentional. That's called vocabulary questions. How many sentences do you have to read for that?
In fact, of 1.
Huh?
Just only 2 sentences.
Yeah, only 1-2 sentences. Yeah. So you first do your questions that require you to read only 1-2 sentences. Like vocabulary, reference. And then you read 1-2 sentence, then you do the question that requires you to read the whole paragraph. And then you go to the questions that you make your conclusions about the whole paragraph. And at the end, you do the questions that require you to know the whole text. Like the last question you can see. in there. So wouldn't it be much easier to do this way?
Yeah.
And you would save your time, right? You would also be able to save your time, right?
Yeah.
All right. So to get to know these kind of strategies and the way of solving each kind of question, I mean, there are like steps to solving each question. After you know those strategies, it's going to be really easy for you to answer all these questions. You can just answer them with your eyes closed. So, all right, thanks. I hope you all understood the meaning between the whole thing, and I'm going to be waiting for you in here.